Hello, welcome back to my channel. Aimee here. We have some books to talk about today. This is the July new releases video. Not as many as last month, and I couldn't find a lot of male romances. So as it is with all these videos that I do every month, I know I'm missing a lot of good books releasing. So please in the comments let me know what I'm missing, what you're looking forward to, especially male romance, because I had a hard time finding something this month. There's a lot that is being released, but nothing that really caught my attention. I have a few, but you know what I mean. So let's get into it. We're gonna start with July 2nd. This is a male romance releasing. I've never read anything from this author. I'm really excited. It's a dark male college bully romance. This is Ruthless Possession by Luna J. Kent. Really excited about this. I've been sort of tiptoeing around on the dark side of male romances because I've been reading a few and I am loving them. So it's like I want to dive a little bit deeper and see what else they have out there. So I noticed that this was releasing on the 2nd of July, like I said. This has a short synopsis, so I'll read a little bit of it. It says, I watched him before he ever knew my name. Noah Draven is everything I'm not. Untouchable, fearless, and terrifyingly beautiful. I told myself I hated him. But hate doesn't make your heart race when he looks at you. Hate doesn't make you crave the way he controls a room or you. When he finally notices me, it's not sweet. It's not gentle. It's dangerous. Because Noah doesn't flirt. He claims. He doesn't seduce. He owns. And caught in a twisted game of obsession, jealousy, and brutal desire where the only rule is I belong to him. But I never expected the way I'd start to want it. Even when it hurts. Even when it destroys me. This isn't love. It's possession. And I don't know if I want to escape or beg for more. Now jumping to July 8th, we have some thrillers that are coming out that I'm super excited about. It's been a while since I've picked up a thriller. Now my whole month was consumed by male romance. I'm not mad about it, but I'm kind of ready for some suspense. Let's start with a new Ruth Ware. This is The Woman in Suite 11. This is book 2 in the Low Blacklock series. I didn't even know this was a series. I read The Woman in Cabin 10 years ago. I don't know if I need to refresh my memory. I might have to do a reread of it because I do remember not particularly liking it that much. I do have it, so I might have to do a reread before I jump into the Suite 11, Woman in Suite 11, just so I can refresh my memory on our character, that Low Blacklock, that apparently we might be following. It says Low Blacklock returns to attend the opening of a luxury hotel, only to find herself in a white-knuckled race across Europe. When the invitation to attend the press opening of this luxurious suite hotel, owned by the reclusive billionaire Marcus Liebman, it's like the answer to a prayer. 3 years after the birth of her youngest child, Low Blacklock, that's a hard name to say, is ready to reestablish her journalism career. But post-pandemic travel journalism is a very different landscape from the one she left 10 years ago. I'm not going to read any more of the synopsis. It is a short synopsis, but it continues to say what follows is a thrilling cat and mouse pursuit across Europe, forcing Low to ask herself just how much she's willing to sacrifice to save this woman, and if she can even trust her. Not sure who this woman is, but we're gonna read it and find out. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna reread The Woman in Cabin 10. Should I reread The Woman in Cabin 10 before I get to this one? Another author I have yet to read. This is Our Last Resort by Clémence Michelon. It seems French, but I'm not sure how to say it, so my apologies. This is also releasing on July 8th. It says this is from the best-selling author of The Quiet Tenant. I have seen that book floating around Book Talk, So it might be something I want to put on my TBR. It says 15 years ago, Frida and her brother escaped a cult. Now her brother is the prime suspect in a murder investigation, and it isn't the first time. Sorry, I'm getting Snapchats. Let me mute that. So I'm guessing her brother was a suspect before. I don't know. Don't want to get too much into it. It continues to say taut, gripping, and intense. This is this latest suspense novel is a nail biter until the last page. I don't know. It sounded good when I read the whole synopsis. Let me know in the comments if you've read from this author before and if you're looking forward to this one. I'm all about this cover. This is also releasing on July 8th. This is Night Watcher by Daphne Wollstonecraft. Again, my apologies if I'm not saying that last name correctly. This cover is giving. It is giving. Never read anything from this author. It says Nola Strait, a late-night call-in radio host in Portland, Oregon, listens to stories of hauntings and cryptic sightings for a living. But one foggy, wet evening, when a caller describes an eerie scene that triggers memories of Nola's escape from a serial killer years before, she becomes fearfully aware that he's back to finish what he started. I think that's all we need to know in that. Looks like this serial killer has a name. He's called the Hiding Man. And it looks like he might have resurfaced, basically. So, sounds really good. And honestly, I judged this book by its cover. That's why I picked it. We have a new, like a republish of a book by John Mars. This is Her Last Move. This is the new cover. I follow him on TikTok, and it looks like he might be like republishing some of his books. And this is one of them that's releasing July 8th. The original book was published in November of 2018. So it's been a while, but I'm really excited to read this one. I've been interested to get into like John Mars' like backlist of stuff. It's been a while since I've read anything from him. It says this version incorporates an exclusive epilogue. While this enhances the reading experience, the main narrative is unchanged from earlier editions. There's a blurb that says, whatever you do, don't read this in the dark. That's promising to me. It says, he hides in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment. Each kill is calculated, planned, and executed like clockwork. Struggling to balance her personal and professional life, young DS Becca Vincent has landed the biggest case of her career, and she knows that it will make or break her. With the help of another police officer, Joe Russell, she strives to catch a glimpse of the elusive murderer, but he's watching her every move. Time is not on their side, the body count is rising, and the attacks are striking closer between the murders before the killer strikes the last name from his list. Sounds intense. We're gonna read it. Let me know if you've read this one already, because like I said, this is a republish, so let me know. We have a new book from Geneva Rose on July 15th. This is The Girl I Was. Now this is not a thriller. This is really, honestly, I'm not sure what type of book this is. Maybe just like a woman's fiction. This is a book that this is like her first book that she ever wrote. And now she has sort of redone it, and now it's getting its publication. So I follow her on TikTok as well. She's really excited about this release. So we're gonna check it out. It says, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Alexis Spencer will use any inspirational quote to rationalize her failures and shortcomings. Her closest friends are a distant memory, and her college debt is still as high as the day she left. But that's all fine and dandy, because whatever will be, will be. However, when Alexis loses her job and her relationship on the same day, there's no quote strong enough to help her cope. In typical fashion, she blames the world for her problems, including her younger self, who should have tried harder. Feeling sorry for herself, Alexis finds a bottle of vodka from her college days and goes on a bender, blacking out in the process. Only this time she doesn't wake up at home or even in the right city. In fact, she isn't even in the right year. So this, I think, is a time jump where, you know, you kind of wish you would have done things differently. So the universe is maybe giving you a second chance. It sounds interesting. But again, not a thriller. It's Geneva Rose though, so I will be checking this one out. And I think there's going to be like 2 different prints. There's going to be maybe a Barnes & Noble print, maybe a Walmart print. I don't know. It's going to have to do with the sprayed edges, so keep an eye out if you want to check this one out. On July 16th, we get a new release from L.A. Witt. I haven't read a L.A. Witt in a hot minute. So this is a male romance. This is Man Advantage. Looks like it's going to be a hockey romance. Yes, Man Advantage is a standalone trans male hockey romance. Trev Allen and his ex-husband had a joint custody arrangement. During the hockey season, his ex took the twins whenever Trev's team was on the road. Easy peasy. But now, just 2 weeks before training camp, Trev's ex gives him an ultimatum. Lockdown reliable, full-time child care for Trev's custody weeks before the start of the season, or his ex is pursuing full custody. Trev's in a panic to keep his kids, but as luck would have it, an old friend and old flame is also in a jam. So we have his friend Cam, and his ex didn't just cheat, he kicked Cam out and got him fired. Cam's desperate and flailing until he receives a message from a man he hasn't seen in years. Now he has hope of getting back on his feet, not to mention reconnecting with his friend and first love. Cam's not prepared for how much Trev has glowed up, and then Trev is stunned by how kind and a fitness career have been to Cam. The intense attraction is both instantaneous and hotter than ever. So yeah, I saw L.A. Witt, and I've read a few of her books and I really enjoyed them. So we're gonna check this one out. On July 17th, this is another male romance. This is actually the second book in the More Men series by Ashley James. This is Hollis. At this point, when I'm filming this video, it does not have a cover, but here's the cover for the first book. This is Finn, which I have on my TBR. I want to read. So I thought I'd mention that the second book, Hollis, will be releasing on the 17th of July. There is no blurb either, so I'm not sure what this is going to be about. But the first book says, falling for my girlfriend's twin brother wasn't what I had in mind when I hired him to be my son's nanny. So yeah, definitely want to read Finn, but I'm not sure. I'm guessing we're gonna have like another character for the second book of the More Men series. Just wanted to throw it out there if any of you have already read the first book, because I definitely want to read the first book. Might have to put that on my July TBR. On July 22nd, we're getting a new book by Holly Jackson, Not Quite Dead Yet. This is actually her first adult thriller, so I'm really excited about this release. It says a twisty thriller about a young woman trying to solve her own murder. Like what? In 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. Jet is the daughter of one of the wealthiest families in Woodstock, Vermont. 27 years old, she's still waiting for her life to begin. I'll do it later, she always says. She has time until Halloween night when Jet is violently attacked by an unseen intruder. She suffers a catastrophic head injury. The doctor is certain that within a week, the injury will trigger a deadly aneurysm. Jet has never thought of herself as having enemies, but now she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. She has at most 7 days, and as her condition deteriorates, she has only her childhood friend, Billy, for help. But nevertheless, she's absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder. What? Absolutely yes. We'll be reading this. We have a lot of books releasing on July 29th, so we'll start with Sherry LaPina. She Didn't See It Coming. When a beloved wife and mother disappears, a luxurious condo building transforms into a potential crime scene and the investigation begins. Can the detectives find her before it's too late? Brendan and Sam have it all: thriving careers, a smart apartment in a luxury condominium, supportive friends, and a cherished daughter. The perfect life for the perfect couple. Then Sam receives a call at his office. Bryden, I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, working from home that day, has failed to collect their daughter from daycare. Arriving home with their little girl, he finds his wife's car in the underground garage. Upstairs in their apartment, her laptop is open on the table, her cell phone nearby, her keys in their usual place, except Bryden is nowhere to be seen. It's as if she just walked out. Sherry LaPina, she always just writes a great thriller, so looking forward to this one. Next for July 29th, or next releasing July 29th, this is We Won't All Survive. This is by Kate Alice Marshall. I honestly don't know what this is about because I just picked it, number one and only reason, really, because it's Kate Alice Marshall. I have not yet read a Kate Alice Marshall that I didn't like, so just kind of chose this one blindly. But this looks like it's an isolated type thriller. We have maybe a game show happening. It says a nail biter that's part survival story, part murder mystery, and all thriller. 2 years ago, Mercy Gray was hailed as a hero for saving lives during a mall shooting. When a billionaire turned TV host recruits Mercy to compete on his new survivalist reality show, she can't turn it down. But when she and other contestants arrive at the off-the-grid location, something isn't right. The set is empty, the gates close without warning, trapping them inside, then one of them turns up dead. That's all we're gonna read, that's all we need to know. Yeah. Now this is an author that I see floating around a lot on Book Talk. On July 29th, Guess Again by Charlie Donnelly is releasing. I have not read anything from this author, but everyone seems to love everything they write. So I'm excited to jump in. Not necessarily maybe jump into this book first. I might try something else first, but just wanted to throw this author out there to y'all because I've never heard of this author. I've only just heard this author around, floating around Book Talk, but I hear nothing but good things. So this one says, on the 10th anniversary of a teenage girl's disappearance, her cold case breaks open in dangerous ways and threatens to tear apart her small Wisconsin town all over again in this masterfully twisted new psychological suspense. 10 years ago, 17-year-old high school volleyball star Callie Jones vanished from her quiet Wisconsin lake community. A highly publicized search followed, but her body was never found. The case went cold, but the echoes still linger. Ethan Hall, a former renegade detective turned ER doctor, left law enforcement to escape the horrors of the kid crime division. But on the 10th anniversary of Callie's disappearance, his former partner, Pete Kramer, makes a desperate request. Pete is the veteran detective who originally investigated the case. Now he's dying, and to ease his conscience and get closure for the Jones family, he needs Ethan to return to the haunting work he left behind and solve what happened to Callie once and for all. That sounds amazing. I'm here for it. Also on July 29th, I have 2 more books. My battery's flashing at me. Hopefully I can get through these. This one is actually the 4th book in the Lighten You series by C.E. Rickey. This is Playing Dirty. There's no cover for it. There's no blurb. And it just says release date to be announced. As of right now, it's the 29th of July. But in case you are reading the Lighten You series, book 4 is coming out. I think I read the first book, but I'm gonna have to go back and check. But just wanted to throw that out there. And last but certainly not least, I've been seeing this author floating around on Book Talk, and a new book is coming out on July 29th. This is Broken Highway by Logan Rivers. Never read anything from this author. Super excited to discover new male romance authors. It says Broken Highway is the first novel in a series of standalones. Each book can be read independently and as they are connected only by the theme. It says, I wanted to be a ghost to disappear because people can't find what they can't see and can't hurt what they can't touch. One look, one spark, and a carefully buried hunger roars to life. Together, we're two fractured souls on a collision course, are meeting a lit match in a world soaked by gasoline. We could burn it all down, but when our ghosts catch up to us, will we save each other or become the wreckage that's left behind? I'm just kind of grabbing little things from the synopsis. Honestly, I don't know what this book is about. I love the cover and I want to check out new male romance authors. So I just wanted to throw this one out there. This is releasing July 29th, and that's all I have for y'all for now. All right, as always, thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what are you looking forward to in the month of July? I know I've missed something that's coming out there, so please, please, please let me know in the comments. Hope y'all are all doing well out there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Again, as always, hugs from me all around, and I'll see y'all very soon in a new video. Bye, y'all.